We are live at the Champion Center. It's signing day 2018. Well, kind of. Voice of the bus, Mark Johnson. Neill Woelk of CUBus.com. I made a joke on a radio show this morning where I said signing day with the new format back in December, that was when the house was built. Today, they're painting the trim, putting on the shutters. It's kind of taking a little of the steam out of what normally happens on traditional signing.
Yeah, they took care of the punch list this morning, Mark. They
right.
got fixed up a couple things that they wanted to fix up, the last couple of positions that they wanted to address, and they put the bow on the whole thing.
I think so. Well, let's start out with the two that the Buffaloes signed today. Alex Changham is the first one, and you got to love a guy that's got a Twitter handle that's something like Rush the Quarterback. I mean, so we know what this guy's going to do.
Yeah, it's very clear what Alex Changham wants to do and why Colorado recruited him. He's a guy that can get to the quarterback, get to him fast, and that's what he likes to do, and it's certainly a place that Colorado needed to address. And so I think he's a guy that can come in and like a lot of the guys in this class, can come in and help him automatically.
16 sacks in 15 games in junior college. This guy's very productive. If you saw some of the photos that were floating around of him when he was here, he's put together pretty well, too. And the Buffs have been looking for a guy that can get to the quarterback.
Yeah, and along with those sacks, he had a lot of quarterback pressures, and I think that's that's a statistic that is often overlooked. Is get to him. Can you make him throw it before he's ready to throw it? Can you make him hurry that throw? Can you make him? Can you force an interception and do things like that? And I think he's also very adept at that. And again, it's a place that Colorado wanted to address in the recruiting, and they've done that.
And he's a guy that comes to Colorado. He's an African young man, born in Cameroon. His family's lived here for a number of years, so he played high school basketball, or football, I should say, in Atlanta. But the Buffs have had a number of African natives here in recent years. Have been
yeah, they have, and they've had great luck with a number of players whose parents were African natives, and they moved here, or else they moved here when they were born there. And go back in the Kenneth Olabode, Afolabi Lagudo, Chida Bayawuzie, another good Stefan Nembot, and all of those kids have come here and been very successful. And I think they all come from very good families, and I think that's one thing that attracts the parents when they come here to look, is the family atmosphere that Colorado tries to create.
Yeah, the other thing you love when you talk about either football or basketball players is multi-sport athletes, and we've seen a lot of players who have played soccer, which Changham did, and what that adds from a development standpoint as a child when they're growing up, and how they become very good with their footwork.
Exactly, and it's funny, we were talking about that last night as far as it goes with basketball players, but because kids grow up so specialized in the United States, sometimes they become a little bit too specialized, and they don't have all the other skills that go with playing different sports. And soccer, tennis, we got a guy on the basketball team that played a lot of tennis, and so you see good footwork, and I think that only helps.
Well, we just asked Bill Walton about that.
Oh.
He will go on for days when you ask him that question, by the way. Also tonight, not only Changham, a defensive end or outside linebacker, is going to be a great rusher for the Colorado Buffaloes, but a transfer in Trayvon McMillan, running back from Virginia Tech.
Here's another position that Colorado obviously gone. Philip Lindsay, who was the workhorse of workhorses last year, and so here's a guy that comes in, started I think in 23 games for Virginia Tech, ran for more than 2,000 yards while he was there, and can also catch the ball coming out of the backfield. It's a position that is going to be wide open in the spring and in the fall camp. So certainly a guy that can come in here and have a chance to play right away.
You look at the highlights that we're seeing right now. He's kind of an Eddie George type looking guy in terms of being one of those long striders. And what a great pickup for Mike McIntyre and the football team, considering that you lose, as you mentioned, Philip Lindsay, and have a guy of that experience and that resume to come in and jump in right away.
Yeah, and what it does is it increases the competition level right away, and I think that's what you want to do when you've got a position that's so wide open as running back is going to be there. A lot of guys coming back, but not a lot of guys with a lot of experience. You got Bo Bisharat coming back, Donovan Lee. You got several like Kyle Evans back there, guys who have played, but not guys with a lot of experience. And so what you're going to have is a wide open competition. This is a guy that just elevates that competition level.
You can tell he's an old ink-stained wretch. He always gets choked up on National Signing Day. Yeah, well. Still emotional after all these years.
And I tell you, but you're right. This is not quite the emotional signing day. We're here in the Champion Center on the 4th floor with the football offices, and very much more relaxed than it is than it has been in years past in February.
You go back to the day in December when the first signing day, and guys are walking around here, wringing their hands, looking at their phones, waiting for the next text to come in or the fax to come in. Hey, let's talk about Kanan Ray a little bit. Outside linebacker transfer that we couldn't tell you about back in December, but he enrolled here at CU in January. He's a transfer from UCLA. Interesting guy.
Yeah, big offensive lineman, big kid who came in here. He had signed with UCLA and was going to gray shirt for them. Decided to change, where he wanted to go to school. He's going to come here. He enrolled. He's already in school here. So kind of like a gray shirt if Colorado would have signed him a year ago. He's got 4 years of eligibility left. He's got 4 years to play. Big kid, was a very highly recruited kid coming out of high school. And again, a place where Colorado lost a lot of seniors, lost a lot of guys there. They're going to be wide open competition in spring ball. He'll get a chance to, show some stuff right away in spring ball. So very nice signing for Colorado.
What do you think about this new format? As we joked off the top here, back in December, that was the big day. It's taken a little bit of the steam out of this. How do you think it's affected college football? You like what you've seen so far?
I like what I've seen, and the reason I like it is because I think it rewards programs that do that are good at evaluation early.
Right.
They get those kids, they get them signed in December. And as we talked to Mike McIntyre this morning, he's already had a chance. He and his staff, they've been out there, they've been recruiting for 2019. They're not worried about sewing up that 2018 class right now. They're not worried about today finishing that class. What they've been able to do the last month and a half or so is what they would usually be doing in May. And so they're able to go out and evaluate. And so I think these two signing dates, they reward programs that do a good job of evaluation. I think that's been one of Colorado's strengths under Mike McIntyre is just talent evaluation.
So in this traditional signing day of February of 2018, it's been a little anticlimactic, but they had a very nice pass rusher in Alex Changham, and then Trayvon McMillan, a running back, the transfer from Virginia Tech. As you wrap things up here today, stay attached to the social media outlets today here at the University of Colorado. They're going to have all sorts of updates. We'll talk with other coaches and release some of those comments as well. And don't forget that tomorrow is the signing day luncheon at the Sheraton Denver. There's still time to get yourself some tickets. Get down there, and Mike will go over the entire class. Chad Brown's going to join us for that. We'll hear from a number of the new coaches as well. And you can go to cubuffs.com for ticket information for that luncheon tomorrow. For Neill Woelk at cubuffs.com, I'm Voice of the Boss, Mark Johnson. Thanks for joining us on signing day, February 2018, live from the Champion Center.